This is the second part of the chapter. So now coming to the next part of the chapter, reproductive health. It is medical termination of pregnancy. Short form you write as MTP. So as a term you can say the pregnancy will be terminated. So what it is? A voluntary termination of pregnancy before it completion of the full term, and that is called as medical termination of pregnancy, or in other words induced abortion. And MTP has been now legalized by the government of India in 1971, but with strict guidelines not to use it for what? For killing of normal female fetuses, because that is rampant in certain states like you have Rajasthan, UP, Haryana, where they want only a male child, and if they find that the unborn, the sex of the unborn is a female, they can go for MTP. So that is why Government of India has given strict guidelines to avoid its misuse, especially indiscriminate and illegal female feticide. Now in what cases MTP is done? Obviously first will be if a female is pregnant due to casual unprotected coitus, and sometimes they use a contraceptive, the couples use a contraceptive and there is a failure of that contraceptive and that results in pregnancy. And sometimes it is that the pregnancy can be harmful to the mother, or it can be harmful to the fetus, or to both. So in that case they want to save the mother and they can go for MTP. But MTPs are safe only during first trimester, that is up to 12 weeks of pregnancy, and afterwards it becomes very risky for the mother. Next part of this chapter is sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. As the term shows, diseases that can be spread by sexual contact. These are also known as venereal disease or reproductive tract infection. Now some examples you have is chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, AIDS and hepatitis B. And out of these, AIDS, genital herpes and hepatitis B cannot be cured, while others are curable STDs. Now the early symptoms of STDs, what they include in the genital region will be itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swelling, etc. But normally the infected persons do not seek medical help. Why? Because the symptoms are absent or very insignificant, so they just ignore it. And obviously they don't want to go to the doctor to say that he has STD, and that the social stigma attached to STD prevents the person from consulting a doctor. And these diseases are reported to be high among individuals of the age group 15 to 24 years. Now we said that these are diseases spread by sexual contact, but there are certain STDs like you have hepatitis B and HIV that can be spread by other means, and that is through blood or by sharing of contaminated injections, needles, surgical instruments with infected person, or by transfusion of infected blood, or from infected mother to the fetus. So what are the preventive measures for these STDs? First will be avoid sex with unknown or multiple partners. Second, always use condoms during coitus. Third, use sterilized syringes and needles. And whenever there is any doubt whether a person is suffering from STDs, consult a doctor as early as possible and get completely cured if diagnosed with the disease. Next part and the last part of this chapter will be infertility. So far we were talking about birth control measures. It means how we are going to advise a couple to limit their family to have 1 or 2 children, or to keep space between 2 children. But now the focus is what advice we can give to a couple who cannot have children or who do not have children after a prolonged period of time. So infertility, what do we refer it to? As the biological inability of a person to conceive in spite of regular unprotected coitus. And the reasons for infertility could be any. It can be physical, that means something wrong with the reproductive system due to congenital diseases, drugs, immunological reactions, or even psychological. And there are certain diseases like diabetes, thyroid disorders, adrenal disorders, and environmental factors like tobacco smoking, alcohol are major causes of infertility these days. And some common causes of infertility in males can be due to low sperm count or absence of sperm, low semen quality, or sexual dysfunctioning. Now, in case of females, again be due to polycystic ovarian syndrome, that means cysts in the ovaries, or the fallopian tube can be damaged or blocked. There can be something wrong with the uterus, or it can be a age related factor. Now, for all these, there are special healthcare units called as infertility clinics, and that clinics are going to, if a couple goes there, they will diagnose the problem, give corrective treatment for some of these problems. But sometimes corrective treatments are not available, or in spite of doing these corrective treatments, still the couple cannot conceive. They can go for some special techniques which is called as assisted reproductive technology, short form you write it as ART, A-R-T, and that is to help the couple in having children. And so, coming to this assisted reproductive technology, what is this? Methods to achieve pregnancy by artificial means or partial artificial means, and that is primarily used in treating infertile couples. First technique will be test tube baby program or in vitro fertilization, that is IVF. And what is going to work test tube baby programming? In vitro. In vitro means outside, fertilization outside the female body. So, this is going to involve fertilizing an egg outside a female body in vitro, followed by embryo transfer inside the uterus to establish pregnancy. So, what is done in this technique? The female, either the wife or a donor, is given fertility drugs like you can have FSH and other drugs etc. to stimulate the ovaries to produce more eggs. That is called as superovulation. Now, these eggs are collected from the ovaries and they are placed along with the sperm from the husband or a donor in a glass dish, and it is given appropriate conditions. So, they are allowed to fuse under simulated conditions, that means as that of the body, and they are kept at a particular body temperature in an incubator where they maintain the temperature for a few hours. So, fertilization occurs and they see when the two pronuclei are present inside, so they know that the sperm nucleus has entered the egg and the fertilized egg divides to form the embryo. Now, the zygote or the early embryo that is obtained is then transferred into the female body. So, the transfer of the embryo into the female body is referred to as the embryo transfer, short form as ET, and it can be done in the following two ways. First, if we take either the zygote or the early embryo up to how many blastomeres? Up to only 8 blastomeres or less than 8 blastomeres, that is obtained, is transferred directly into the fallopian tube. So, this is called as zygote intra, means within, fallopian transfer, short form is ZIFT, Z-I-F-T. But if we have embryos with more than 8 blastomeres, they are placed directly into the lining of the uterus for further development. So, this is termed as intrauterine transfer, IUT. So, this is about the test tube baby program or in vitro fertilization. Next technique will be gamete intrafallopian transfer. That means a gamete will be introduced into the fallopian tube. Short form, it is called as gift. So, literally it is a gift of one female to another, and what will be the gift? In the form of an egg. So, in cases of females who cannot produce their own egg, but rest of the conditions are normal, that means they can undergo fertilization, they can carry full term pregnancy. So, what in this method, what is done? egg from a donor female is introduced into another female who cannot produce the ova, but can provide suitable conditions for fertilization and further development of the fetus up to parturition. So the egg from the donor along with the sperms from the husband is introduced directly into the fallopian tube. There fertilization will occur, and the embryo, when implanted into the uterus, will form the fetus, and she will carry the full term pregnancy. So this is called as gamete intrafallopian transfer or gift. Next technique will be intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So obviously intra means inside, so we are going to inject sperm directly into the egg. So sperm is directly injected into the ovum, and then it is given proper conditions outside the female body to form an embryo, and then this is followed by embryo transfer, either ZIFT or IUT. And this is beneficial in which cases? In case of males, infertility is due to presence of less sperms in there, the less sperm count is low, less sperms in the ejaculate. Next technique will be artificial insemination or AI. So artificial insemination, what did we say? Insemination was introduction of the male gamete into the female reproductive tract. So in this case, semen will be collected from the husband and or a healthy donor, and it will be concentrated and will be artificially introduced into the vagina or into the uterus of the female or into the uterus, and that is, if it is introduced into the uterus, it is called as intrauterine insemination. So then rest of the process will take naturally. So this also is method is used in which cases? If infertility is due to that the male partner is unable to inseminate the female, or also due to very low sperm count in their ejaculate. Last, that is surrogacy. Sometimes it happens that a female is unable to carry a full term pregnancy. So what can she do in this case? Egg from that female and the sperm from her husband are fused in the lab by IVF, and that embryo that is obtained will be transplanted or transferred into the uterus of another female, and this another female will be called as the surrogate mother, and she is going to bear the child for the couple, and when she has that child, that child will be delivered to this couple back. And obviously the surrogate mother can be a person who is in relation to the couple, or it can be any unknown female, but then they legalize this mother will be given money for bearing that child, for all the expenses for bearing that child. So that is how it is done. So you have many persons in the Bollywood who have a child through surrogacy. Like you have Shah Rukh Khan's third child, Abraham, that is by surrogacy. Amir Khan having the child through surrogacy. So this is the technique they utilize here. So this was all about various techniques by which infertile couples can have children. Now coming to the last part of this, that is detection of fetal disorders. How you can do? First is amniocentesis. Amnio means amniotic fluid. So what it is done, it's a prenatal, that means before the birth of the child. It's a technique where a small quantity of the amniotic fluid will be taken out from the womb of a pregnant female, and you know the embryo is present in that amniotic cavity which is filled with this amniotic fluid. So in that amniotic fluid there are some fetal cells, especially of the trophoblast, and those cells will be isolated, cultured, and checked for what? Abnormalities in the chromosomes. So you haven't read, but you will be reading shortly that there are many disorders due to abnormalities in the chromosome number, and this thing, and there it can be also metabolic disorders can also be detected, and obviously the sex of an infant, because if it has 2X chromosome it will be a female, and if it has XY chromosome it will be a male. So they can know the sex of an infant, but mainly this technique was what, to detect genetic and metabolic disorders. So if a couple already has a child with a Down syndrome, they want to know whether another child will have the same, they want to go for this technique. But there are many who does it for what, to determine the sex of the unborn. So that is why it is misused, because when they come to know that the sex of the unborn is a female, they go for MTP. So this is misused to kill normal female fetus. That's why now this technique is legally banned for determining the sex, not for determining the genetic and metabolic disorders, for determining the sex. That means the sex of the unborn will not be revealed to the couple. So what, to avoid female feticide, that is killing of normal female fetuses. So that is why it has been banned for determining the sex of the unborn. Next, which is not in your NCERT book, but sometimes it has come in your entrance exam, that is chorionic villus sampling. Chorionic, that means sample will be taken out from the chorionic cells. So in this method, what is done, a thin plastic tube is inserted through the vagina, through the cervix, to reach to the placenta, and a small sample of the chorionic villus tissue is removed, and it's analyzed for chromosomal abnormalities and biochemical disorders. Now since these are villus cells, they are undergoing rapid mitosis, but so this results can be obtained from these villus cells, can be obtained within a few hours. But in case of the amniocentesis, we have to isolate the cells, culture it, that is going to take some time. But here, since these are already undergoing mitosis, so we have we have the results within a few hours. That means this is faster than amniocentesis. Another advantage of this CVS over amniocentesis, that means it can be performed early, that means between 10 to 13 weeks of pregnancy. So if a couple wants to know of any genetic disorder in their unborn, they can go for CVS because it can be done early. But in case of amniocentesis, generally it is done during the second trimester, so at a slightly late stage. So if this is more advantageous, because if a child is suffering from any abnormalities, and the couple can opt for MTP in that case, if they come to know about any genetic disorders in their unborn, any chromosomal abnormalities in their unborn child. Then, and since because MTPs are safe only during first trimester, and then afterward it becomes risky, so many of these might opt for CVS. But it has a little this thing, because in a way invasive, in the sense that we are inserting a tube up to the placenta, so it has to be done carefully so as not to damage the fetus. So that was all for in this chapter. So with that, we have ended the chapter on reproductive health, and after your exams I will be starting the next chapter, that is human diseases. Thank you and God bless you all.